One of the coolest things Jay and I did when we were in Japan was go to a Japanese onsen. For a long day of work, go to the bathhouse, take off all your clothes and go lay in warm pools of water with your neighbors, completely butt naked. As an American, I was extremely nervous to go and do this. As a plus-size woman in Japan, also extremely nervous to do this. But it was on my bucket list of things I just had to do while I was in Japan. Or I read a lot of manga, watched a lot of anime growing up, and there's always pictures of these women who they would always go to the bathhouse, and that's kind of where, you know, it's like their coffee house. They would gossip about men, talk about things, and they just go there to relax and heal and get away from, you know, all the worldly pressures that they had just experienced all day. And so I knew when I went to Japan that I had to go to a Japanese onsen. And we find this bathhouse called Sakura, I think. And it has an outdoor and indoor area where you can enjoy different types of baths at different temperatures. And it's split off into men and women, so you'll never see somebody of the opposite sex in the baths with you. It's all women. And when you go into the bath, first you have to take off your shoes before you step onto the wooden entryway. Jay and I made that mistake. We walked in with our shoes and they nearly wanted to stab us. We knew better. Our parents always taught us to take our shoes off before you enter the house, and here we are not listening to them. So we took off our shoes, we go up to the counter, and they don't speak much English, but they did hand us a book that had their different prices on there, and you can rent things like a robe and a towel from them, which we did. We didn't rent a robe though, because I don't think the robes went up to my size, and Jay didn't really care. But so you get completely naked, and then you go over to a bathing area. Yes, you take a bath before you get in the bath. This is because, you know, you want to be completely clean before you go and you share this relaxing experience with other women. You don't want to be sitting in somebody else's gunk, right, and their sweat. No, that's gross. So you get a little stool, and there's a bunch of different shampoos, soaps and whatnot for you to cleanse yourself, and you sit on a stool. They give you a little shower thing, and you wash your hair, you wash your body, you get every little nook and cranny, and then after that it's free range to do whatever you want. If you ever wonder how old Asian women are so open to just letting it all hang out at the 24-hour fitness, it's because they're used to it. They've been doing it since they're a kid. I saw young girls the age of 12 in there with their moms, as well as older women 40, 45, and even older women 65, just hanging out in the bath. Sit on these tiled chairs, and it's just steam everywhere, and it's not just steam, but it's also rain, so you don't feel like you're just sitting in your sweat and it's moist everywhere. It kind of feels like you're taking a shower. And that room was mostly empty, so I stayed in there a lot. And then right next to it there was a cold, an ice bath, and I could not get into there, but there was one woman who, she would go from the hot pool and then straight into the ice bath, and she would just plunge in there and just hang out for probably 2 or 3 minutes before getting out and going back to another hot bath. But I just kind of stood around and I waited on the edge with my feet in the water, and it was a nice relaxing break from the hot natural spring water that was in the other baths. So that's what's on the inside. There's also a sauna, dry hot room where it has mats on the ground that you can sit. Don't be an idiot and sit bare butt on them. People will yell at you. Yes, that happened to me. So that towel they gave you at the beginning, bring that with you and lay it down on the mat before you sit on it. Nobody wants to be sitting on your old butt print. And within the sauna there's television. You can kind of just relax, watch some TV, and sweat out all your problems. It was far too hot in there for me, so I ended up getting out and leaving. But then the outside area was my favorite. Oh my god, it was amazing. They had 3 hot baths kind of on the inside, but because of the cold air it's a lot easier just to hang out. I spent probably a good hour just in the outside baths, and they have the cherry blossom trees that were beautiful, and it was just a really lovely experience. So probably the real reason why you clicked on this video was because you wanted to hear my experience as a plus-size woman getting buck naked in front of small Japanese women, where being small and frail and feminine is really important. I'm gonna be honest, it was scary at first, and I felt like people were judging me. But that was all my own insecurities. I kind of hyped it up in my head to be like that. After probably like 10 minutes, nobody gave a shit. I was walking from bath to bath without a care in the world. You know, I was chilling on the edge of a pool with my legs kind of just in the water, not even caring, completely splayed out for the world to see, and nobody cared. The only time people care is if you don't put a towel down before you sit on a mat. So if you are a plus-size woman and you really want to go visit the Japanese bathhouse, don't let your own body insecurities stop you from doing it. It's a great experience. Please, please, please do it. Just because we're fat and just because, you know, the world says being fat is wrong, shouldn't stop you from enjoying your life. If you have it on your bucket list like I did, definitely go and do it. It's a ton of fun. And then let me know what you thought. Comment below and tell me what your experience was. I'm so curious if it was